Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend Omar, and real estate entrepreneur. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. What's up, Michael? How are
Topic,
things?
yeah, things are good, man. Topic number three is pretty important. It's actually one you and I haven't talked about, which is kind of shocking. And that
I
is
know it is.
that's just the simple word cash flow.
Cash flow.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Real estate investing. It's so funny that it really boils down to that. People try to overcomplicate it. Assets, liabilities, this, that, the other thing. Burr. You could throw lots of vocabulary on it, but I want cash flow every month. I don't
hmm
spend appreciation. I don't spend net worth. I spend cash flow. The reason I'm financially free
100%.
is because cash flow exceeds my monthly expenses. Um, yeah, cash flow is it. It needs to be simplified sometimes, but yeah, that's what it is for me. What's cash flow to you?
100% the ability to go and purchase items without using any of your money. Okay? Like it doesn't go into your checkbook. It doesn't go into your income that you've made
Mhm.
because you've already positioned your money, right? So it can create more through cash flow.
Mhm.
And I've been taking it one step further. People say, you know, you hear it. Oh, hey, buy the house first, then you buy the car, buy the apartment units, then you buy your, super exotic car, or whatever the case. But how about this? How about buy the house, get your cash flow, use your cash flow to buy another home. Then you do the same thing. You buy you take your cash flow to buy another one.
Mhm.
That's exactly what I've done from day one. Didn't buy any of the freaking cars and stuff until I really wanted one.
Mhm.
And now it's like now I see things. It's like, all right, $1,500 here, $1,800 there for cash flow.
Yeah.
That that's almost 3 grand.
Yeah.
That
Adds up.
$3,000 pays for another property that'll appreciate,
Yeah.
and then that one gives me cash flow too.
Yeah,
So it's a game.
it is absolutely a game. There's so much in Monopoly that is subtle, right? That
Oh my
it
God,
is, yeah,
yes.
four greenhouses, one red hotel. I remember the first time I sold a house in 1031 into an apartment, like, dude, Monopoly. It's so funny.
Yup.
I remember thinking that when I'm signing the paperwork, I'm like, I'm playing Monopoly in real life. But yeah, it is time. We live in a society of social media, the microwave society, and all of that. They want it quick. They want it now. What I want people to realize as we go to help a million people is, we're going to sign up for a decade, right? If you
hmm
sign up for a decade, time in the market beats timing the market. You want your initial money to have babies that have more babies, almost grandparents. And
hmm
again, I've told you the story, right? Norris Drive. I wrote about in my first book, the first house I ever
Norris
bought,
Drive.
right? I took a cash out refi. The cash out refi bought two more houses. Then those three houses became 40 some odd units over a decade.
Right.
20 grand turned into $500,000 or 600 grand, 100 grand in cash. I mean, it's just, again, if you're going to come into the one rental at a time world, do the work, buy box, yield, good, great deal. It's a 10-year game. If you have a very low monthly expenses, maybe it's 7. If you're like Olivia and I and you have two 6-figure incomes, it's 15. It's a Don't think 15 days, 15 months. We can change your life, but it's going to take some time. And cash flow is the way.
Oh, 100. You know what? The cash flow aspect of it will help you, right? It'll help you keep moving. The appreciation in the last 10 years have been phenomenal.
Mhm.
I'm coming out with a video just so you know.
Yeah.
My first property I bought for 150, the second one I bought for 40, the third one I bought for 67,000.
Nice.
All three of those I still own today, and they're cumulatively worth 1.3, $1.4 million in today's market, and there's zero
Wow.
debt on all of them. Okay, so the cash flow I'm receiving from that alone is what, $7,000 a month just on those three properties. It's insane, and I'm telling you, like, it just keeps increasing. And for anybody that doesn't know what cash flow is, like, I don't want to, like, because everybody that's on this call knows about cash flow because you preach it, we preach it. I don't talk too much about it. That is, cash flow is your rent, what you're exactly receiving, minus your mortgage, which might include principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Mhm.
Your maintenance, providing you have maintenance costs, you want to factor that in every month. You want to be able to also factor in your vacancy factor of maybe it's not going to get rented, And then property management, that payment per month, all those expenses,
Mhm.
from the rent is your cash flow.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Cash flow is what makes this thing go. And it's funny, right? So I got an accounting degree or an econ degree as well. And everybody wants to talk about the income statement. Here's the deal. Companies, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement.
Right.
Here's the deal, folks. You as an individual have all three as well. I wish this was taught in high school. Your income statement. Your income statement is your salary or your check. Then there's a list of expenses. And oh, by the way, they start with taxes.
Yep.
Then there's healthcare and 401ks or whatever you do. Then there's mortgage payment and food and car and this, that, the other thing. And then there's some number at the bottom. For you, that's discretionary income. For a company, that would be net income, but it's the same thing. Then there's a balance sheet. So many people today want to flex on the balance sheet. Your balance sheet in the real estate world means almost nothing. You don't spend your balance sheet. The balance sheet often is something you brag about, and it's why I never talk about it. It's almost irrelevant. I only fill it out. I only know it when I fill out a financial statement for one of my apartments, because you got to do a financial statement every year for the bank. The third one nobody talks about is the cash flow statement. Why is the cash flow statement important? Ask Evergrande, who is the largest second largest property developer in China. When you stop having income, which they get from selling apartments, and you have the debt structure and employees and loans and all this other stuff, you eventually die. Because
100%.
circulation, cash is like blood or like oxygen. And when it turns off, you die. The only question is, when do you die? And folks, you all have a cash flow statement. And some of you, your cash flow statement's negative. Negative is bad. You're living on credit cards. Bad. That eventually will kill you. Bad. Figure it out.
I'm telling you, you just gave me the chills there when you're talking about cash flow is the oxygen for your business or for yourself or for your livelihood. And I want to add to this, when you just said if you're negative in cash flow, okay, I want to clarify something. Because yes, if you're negative in cash flow overall, it's not good, especially if you have a 9-to-5 or if you're in a very fixed income type of business. Okay. My months sometimes, and I'll tell you, my months sometimes are negative cash flow.
I'm sure 100%. They are. I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Because I'm circulating, I'm taking some of my cash flow and I'm reinvesting it into buying property that I might be able to flip that's going to give me 3 or 4 times that amount that I spent in a month. So when you start doing this and you start adding, hey, 50K comes in and 50K goes out, or 70K goes out, well, that $20,000 of negative cash flow is going to purchase a property that probably has $130,000 of capital gains or gains spread that I'll be able to receive. So then I reimburse myself and put 20K back. So now I'm even, and it's really, instead of making 120, I made 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't make 120, even though on paper you made 120, but your 100K is now the new profit. Okay. That you're going to reinvest it. So you have to play with it. And I'm glad you said that, because I always think it's like, damn, why am I fucking negative? Why? And it's like, okay, this is why. Okay, because I'm deploying the soldiers, deploying the money. Yeah. Okay, and then it's going to come back with a whole bunch of dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or dudettes
babies
or whatever.
Yeah.
Babies. Yeah. So the money's circulating to increase your cash.
Yeah.
So then you're able to go do more. And then your cash flow still comes in every freaking month.
Yeah, call it chunk money or whatever you want to call it. But here's the deal. You need to watch your cash flow statement. And you're absolutely right. You can be negative a month or two. But think about going back to oxygen. You can hold your breath. Right? Yeah. You can hold your breath for a minute or two on purpose. But if you hold it too long, you're going to pass out.
100%.
That's just like cash flow, because you need that money coming back, right? You continually invest 20 grand a month, 3, 4, 5 months in a row. And for whatever reason, the projects blow up. Ouch,
yeah.
Right. So
No,
Again,
seriously. That's crazy.
yeah. So again, cash flow is just like oxygen. You can go negative a month. I am talking about people who are negative 12 months in a row.
Oh,
That is not, that's going to be lead to a problem. Just look at it. And again, the problem is everybody talks about the income statement. People want to flex with the balance sheet, but nobody talks about the cash flow statement. You want to know why companies go bankrupt? It's not the income statement. It's not the balance sheet. It's the cash flow statement.
yeah, they ran out, or they don't have enough.
They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their debt. They can't pay their employees. Nobody's buying their stuff. Dead. The only question is, how long does their savings account last before the end date is there? So cash flow is the most infrequent, or the most untalked about thing, but most vital thing in business. It is actually where I spent most of my accounting trying to figure out, for when I was an accountant right out of college, was the cash flow statement for the business, because it's vital. If you don't, again, this is crazy. You can be a profitable business,
Right.
and still go bankrupt if your cash flow is wrong.
Yeah, and this hits because my question, because
Mhm.
now that we're talking about this is really, 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 really good. If your cash flow, let's say, and I want everybody to write this down or listen to this part of it. Let's say you were negative cash flow $10,000 a month. Okay. And for a year, you're 120K. Now, $120,000 to make if you have a structured income is a lot of money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a flipper, or if you are a wholesaler, or if you are in the real estate business, like
Mhm.
I myself am,
Mhm.
you know, you can go and increase your amount of people that you talk to, take
Mhm.
listings, go represent buyers to offset that 120. Okay.
Sure.
But now you're double working. You're able to do so providing you have an end goal, providing you know what you're doing, because this is something I write down. This is crazy because I've always done it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna deploy, be negative for 5-6 months, Michael.
Mhm.
Okay. And I have a shitload coming in. So how much am I making back?
Mhm.
That's the key. And that's something that I've been looking at. And it's like, okay, if I'm 200K negative for the year in cash flow,
Mhm.
but I made $1 million, okay, remove the 200. Now I made 8. Wasn't too bad. But this is the thing. Most people aren't thinking this way.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
And this is something about cash flow that I want everybody to know. Michael, thank you. Like this is perfect. I love this whole analogy of oxygen.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for all you're doing. Keep crushing it. Again, Savannah, if you see this video, happy birthday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, folks, watch video too. Omar, how can people find you?
Guys, follow me on my website, omaralfaro.com, or message me on IG at Omar_Alfaro.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.